Hello there, welcome back. So today I read a question. Let's jump into it. Here we go. Hello, I am looking for some kind of help regarding the libido of my husband. He has depression due to his work and has now started seeing someone. The frustrating thing for him and I is that he has no more desire towards me, but notices other women, he said. The doctor said that depression causes a serious libido drop, and once he fixes and unlocks the work issue, then he should be happy. Maybe you have some advice on how to approach it. Okay, so here is the primary problem. Now, this is all being treated as just sort of one problem. He's depressed about his work, that's dropping his libido, that's why he's not feeling particularly attracted or desiring you. And it's just one problem, and it's all on him. And all you can do is basically watch this like a passenger and hope that it gets sorted out, and there's nothing you can really do about it. What I think you got to do is you got to pull apart all the different component pieces of the problem and come up with a plan to work on each piece. As you work on each piece, you're working on the whole, and hopefully it all gets solved a little quicker. So let's start with the first one, just the low libido. Well, his libido is governed almost entirely by testosterone. If his testosterone is high, his libido is going to be good. If his testosterone is dropping away, his libido is going to be bad. So you need to, and absolutely, depression can cause a drop in testosterone, causing the drop in libido. So what you got to do is do all the things that are going to help him, raise his testosterone level. He needs to eat right. He needs to sleep well. He needs to exercise. He particularly needs to, lift weights and do, heavy lifting. Take the right amount of vitamin D and magnesium. All that sort of stuff that's going to help raise and support his testosterone levels. And if it's still a really, really low libido thing, it may well be worth getting him checked out just to see where his, testosterone levels are. So that's all something that can be done that's really practical. Eat right, work out, sleep well, so, take the good nutrition stuff. The second part is the depression. And this is it, this is about his work. So, and at this point, I don't really know what the exact part of his work that's depressing him. Is that he is stalled where he is? Does he need to go back to school for another degree? Is he just working for a horrible place? Does he have really, really poor personal boundaries and everyone at his job is basically crapping on him all day? It's not clear what it is. But there are two basic choices and approaches that he can take when dealing with a really specific problem that's causing depression. One, you can learn to accept it, and you go through all the sort of mental therapy of reframing things where this thing that is making you depressed really shouldn't, because it's just normal or whatever. Or the second one is where you say, okay, it's this specific thing that's making me feel bad, and I'm going to change it. So if it's something like, he's just stalled in his job and really needs more education to get unstalled, then the solution is more education to get unstalled rather than take some medication so you don't feel depressed, lay on a couch and talk about your feelings for 3 months until you realize being stalled is just okay. So he can come up with a plan to work on the thing that is directly depressing him. And there's really not too much that you can do about that other than watch it and basically be supportive. This part is really up to him. And there is a chicken and egg thing between depression and testosterone. If you are very, very depressed, your T levels are going to drop. And also if your testosterone levels are dropping, one of the side effects of that is you can have an increase in depression. So his job may not have changed all that much over the last few years, but if his T levels are dropping for whatever reason, maybe that's playing a part in the depression, and rather than thinking, hey, my testosterone level is dropping, he's just saying, I'm just feeling really depressed. So it's not clear where that chicken and egg is starting. The third part is the question of him being attracted to you in specific versus other women in general. And at this point, I have no idea whether or not, you're someone who's being objectively attractive, whether your attractive levels have risen or dropped over the course of the relationship. But you can sort of take, stock of where you are in your life and start consciously trying to maximize whatever attractiveness you have. So it's the same things for you in a sense, eating right, getting enough sleep, hitting the gym, working out, presenting yourself as well and as positively as you can. Because if it is the case that your attraction has kind of slipped away over the years, then that may well be a reason he doesn't find you as quite as specifically attractive as some other random woman in his sphere. And if it's really a case of you absolutely maintain your attractiveness, then this is a whole different thing. It's really hard to know whether it's just the testosterone level dropping that is causing his lack of overall interest. So I think that's what you got to do. You got to break up everything into its component pieces of the problem and come up with a plan for each one. And you can see how you can be supportive of the testosterone libido question. The depression one is pretty much up to him to start figuring out. And there is lots of things you can do to maintain and increase your own attractiveness. And there's no downside for you actually increasing your own attractiveness. This is stuff that you can do, should do, could do for yourself as much as for him. So I hope that's helped answer the question. Very often when we have a problem in life, it just looks like one big confusing problem. You pull it apart into its component pieces, come up with a plan for each piece, and often it becomes far more manageable. And often a big problem is a symptom of the overall sort of, the set of things in his life where everything is connected. So when you come up with a plan for each little piece of the set, it just makes fixing the overall problem so much easier. So anyway, that is about it. I hope it was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.